Yeah, he's...
And it's funny because we've told you on this podcast before that cryptocurrency it's like it's a cross between technology and philosophy and economy.
Yeah, it is a bizarre landscape to hear any of the people who have any knowledge of the actual entities and all of this programming language
it has nothing
that they
to
go
do
on
with
about.
the fucking market price or what Dogecoin's at or what Bitcoin at. I'm like, everything that these guys are talking about and what I want to show you because I knew you'd get interested has nothing to do with the price of the fucking coin.
No, I'm the thing that's fascinating me the most about it is how the different camps that have an interest in speaking about it, how their conceptualization of what they're talking about misses the mark, because it's true in every case. Even Lex Friedman and this Hoskinson guy, the Cardano is it Cardano?
It's Cardano.
Founder. He was with Ethereum when that started, and then he went and did his own thing. Nobody really seems to connect the dots from the fundamentals through the layering of technology and, philosophizing about the possible and stuff. And they're just not...
They're missing the point.
Yeah,
they're connecting the dots, but they're not finishing the picture.
Exactly. It's just there are breaks in the coherent chain. If you're like when we talk about the fact that the dollar isn't actually money, right? Mm-hmm. It's because there's a reasoning, there's a coherence that gets broken as you move from what's the truth, the material reality for the individual in isolation, and then making all of the valid steps of reasoning to build up to having what we have reconcile with itself. And it doesn't, because there's a break in the chain. And you have to approach the fundamental level. You have to get really close to find where they make the mistakes.
Where do you think they're making the mistakes on here? What do you think they're making the mistakes of trying to achieve kind of like a global economy? So everyone has the same, people living in third world countries can have the same chance, same opportunities to take out a loan or do what it is that we have to with banks that are 5 minutes from us.
Well, it has to...
and that's one of the main things Hoskinson and a lot of crypto guys are trying to achieve. That's the much bigger picture when you zoom out of things, of kind of creating a global economy. Imagine if we had a global economy and a global language. You could go whatever the fuck you want, don't have to worry about getting your money transferred to any fiat rate. Wouldn't that be nice? Well, everyone would get along.
If you get there, you're only 2 steps from the end times. Because then all you need is the global religion and the global government, and it's over.
I think so.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. That's why they're all working towards it so feverishly.
Global economy and global global language could lead to a global government.
Oh, well, I mean, governments encompass people who don't speak the language all the time. That's been happening forever.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting if you think about it.
It's the coherent single political regime, religious regime, and economic regime. If they all become, if it becomes a trinity of singular,
that's the all C&I.
Encompassing, exactly.
Religion, government, economy.
Yeah.
You create the fucking.
Yeah, it's like watching the intro to Zelda and the Triforce appears. It's like, yeah, I mean, we kind of. We kind of zoomed off in another direction.
Because to me, what I feel like a global economy and a global language would help kind of bring people more together. I'm not saying let's all be one giant government. China is still China. Canada's still Canada. Everyone's doing their own thing. But just in terms of communication and getting to know people on a more individual basis, especially when you leave out of town, like when you go to Mexico or anywhere. Like, it could be a pain in the ass, to, like, depending on what area that you're in, to even translate. Like, if you go to China, dude, like...
Well, the thing is that if you have a free environment in which people who speak multiple languages are interacting with each other, and people are free to specialize in the skill sets that will make that the most efficient, you'll end up with the perfect number of interpreters. If you make it a responsibility of a public entity, you'll get the exact opposite. You'll get people forming areas of activity where they want to make monopolies and totally screw up the needed balance so that things don't function correctly, and they need to be relied upon to issue all of the dictates that will govern who actually gets to do what. That's the picking of winners and losers. A free environment will never produce anything like that. Only a state environment, as we understand it now, can generate that kind of garbage.
Technology potentially provide that free environment?
No.
Then what can? And why can it?
Only populations realizing that that political decision making is the first step to disaster in every case. It's the only way you can escape the stuff. None of this and none of these strings of philosophizing into the future about how cryptocurrency is gonna replace. See, there is no money. So all you can be replacing...
How can you replace something that does not exist?
All you're replacing is a system of manipulation for another. Cryptocurrency doesn't have the ability to overcome the political dictation of how people interact with each other. Now, you could say, well, these cryptocurrencies and this blockchain concept and how it keeps it keeps a record of all of the transactions on every element of the cryptocurrency that's out there so that everything can be confirmed back and forth and there's all this security. None of that matters. Because everything that software and the little satellites of hardware that are doing the mining or keeping track of the ledgers and on, that's all captured already. It's like you're saying, it's like somehow you think that you're going to go to a totalitarian, political area, and you're somehow going to establish a free gold mine in the middle of it. It's never going to happen.